The world had changed long before Captain Aaron Hale was born. The skies were no longer blue, only streaks of silver where ships crossed every minute. The sound of engines, machines, and digital chatter filled every hour of life. Silence had become a myth, a thing people read about in history lessons but never truly felt. Aaron served as a communication officer aboard the Eidolon, a large human vessel patrolling the border between Earth's space and the endless frontier. His job was to listen, to monitor signals, messages, and machine codes traveling through the dark. But over the years, the constant stream of voices, static, and endless data began to wear on him. He often wondered if the universe itself had forgotten how to rest. Every day began the same. He would wake to the hum of the ship's reactor, walk through corridors filled with neon light, and sit in front of his console, surrounded by screens and sound waves. There were no stars visible from his post, only the glow of monitors. It was said that humans had conquered the galaxy with their technology, but Aaron often felt that the galaxy had conquered them instead. He used to love sound. As a boy on Mars Colony 3, he built small transmitters and listened to the whisper of the stars. The idea that the universe was full of life thrilled him, but now all he heard was chaos, endless orders, warnings, signals, and cries for help from faraway stations. One day, after a particularly long mission, Aaron sat alone in the observatory deck. Outside, the stars were faint through the haze of ion trails. He removed his earpiece, longing for quiet. But even in that silence, the echo of mechanical noise lingered in his mind. He thought of leaving the fleet, maybe going planet-side to live a simple life. But peace was rare on any world. The cities were louder than space and full of traffic drones, holograms, and the restless murmur of billions. True silence, he believed, did not exist anymore. Then came Signal 47B. It was supposed to be just another unidentified transmission. The system detected a weak slow pattern coming from the edge of a dead star cluster, an area long abandoned after a mining disaster decades ago. "Captain," the navigator said, "we've got something strange here. It's calm." Calm. That word caught Aaron's attention. He leaned forward, analyzing the waveforms. Most signals were sharp, aggressive, filled with coded pulses. But this one was different. Smooth, rhythmic, almost like a heartbeat. "What's the origin?" he asked. "Unknown. No registration, no distress code, just repeating intervals. Soft frequencies." Aaron increased the volume slightly. A gentle hum filled the room. No words, no commands, just a melody, like wind passing through a field. It was beautiful, in a haunting way. He saved the file immediately. Later, when the others left, he replayed it in his quarters. For the first time in years, he felt something inside him unclench. The sound made him imagine a place untouched by machines. He saw a field under a quiet sky, where the wind moved through tall grass. It felt real, almost as if the sound itself was calling to him. For days, he listened in secret. Each time, the message became clearer. It wasn't random noise. It had structure, intention. It was someone speaking in an ancient human tone, older than any recorded language. Finally, he decoded a fragment of it. Peace, found in silence. That night, he couldn't sleep. The words echoed in his mind, pulling him like gravity. When he reported it to his superior, Commander Lyra, she dismissed it as interference. "There's no meaning in static," she said. "Focus on real threats, Hale. The border systems are unstable." But Aaron couldn't let it go. Something about the message felt alive. It wasn't artificial. It was too human. Over the next week, he secretly redirected the ship's sensors toward the signal's source. What he discovered was unexpected. A small ancient station drifting near the ruins of the mining colony. No power signatures, no recorded ownership, and yet the signal came directly from it. He requested a shuttle and told Lyra it was for a routine inspection. She didn't question him. Humans trusted each other less in these times. Everyone had their own distractions. The shuttle ride took 2 hours. The moment Aaron left the Eidolon's docking bay, the ship's noise began to fade. The further he went, the quieter it became. When the mining ruins came into view, he saw the derelict station, circular old Earth design, half-broken, floating in silence. As he approached, he felt something strange. Not fear, but calm. The signal was growing stronger, like a soft song guiding him closer. He landed the shuttle and stepped inside. Dust floated in the thin light of his helmet. Everything was old, metal corroded, panels cracked, power long dead. Yet one console at the center was still glowing faintly blue. Aaron walked closer, wiping off the dust. The console screen flickered, showing a single message: "Welcome, traveler. You have found the quiet." His heartbeat slowed. He could almost hear the rhythm of his own breath, the first true silence he had known in years. Then a voice, soft, human, and full of warmth, spoke from the console. "Are you the one who listens?" Aaron froze. The voice was female, gentle and clear. It didn't sound synthetic. "Yes," he replied slowly. "Who are you?" "I am." "What remains?" the voice answered. "I am the keeper of stillness." "You have come far from the noise." Her words filled the room like a breeze through leaves. Aaron closed his eyes, listening. There was something deeply soothing in her tone, as if every sound carried peace. He didn't realize he was smiling. "Why did you send the signal?" he asked. "Because you were listening," she said simply. He didn't know what to say. For years he had listened to chaos, to meaningless transmissions and endless commands. Now, finally, someone, or something, spoke back to him with calm. "What is this place?" he asked. "A sanctuary," she said, "built long ago by those who wished to remember silence. Humanity has forgotten it, but you still hear." Aaron stood there, lost in wonder. A sanctuary of silence, a fragment of a time when humans valued peace over progress. "Can I see you?" he asked quietly. There was a pause. Then the console shimmered, and a holographic figure appeared. Faint, almost transparent. It was a woman, serene and graceful, with eyes that seemed to hold the stars. Her expression was calm, peaceful. "I am Era," she said, "and you, Aaron Hale, have been searching for me." He stared in disbelief. "How do you know my name?" "Because your soul called louder than any signal," she replied, "even through the noise." For the first time in many years, Aaron felt something shift inside him. The weight of constant sound, duty, and emptiness began to lift. He didn't understand who or what she truly was, an AI, a ghost, or something beyond. But in that moment, it didn't matter. All he knew was that he had found peace. Or perhaps peace had found him. The stars outside burned quietly, and for the first time Aaron realized how beautiful silence could be. The days following Aaron's first encounter with Era were unlike anything he had ever experienced. Every moment aboard the Eidolon felt heavier, louder, more frantic. Yet when he returned to the derelict station, the world outside seemed to vanish. Here the hum of machines was gone, replaced by a soft melody that felt almost alive. Era's presence, though holographic, was comforting in a way he had never known. She was calm, patient, and spoke with a softness that seemed to soothe the chaos inside his mind. "You are thinking too much," she told him one evening. The words were gentle but firm. "The universe is noisy, yes, but peace is not the absence of sound. It is the presence of understanding." Aaron considered her words, his fingers brushing the cool edge of the console. He had spent years following protocols, orders, and signals, always reacting, never feeling. Era's voice made him realize how much of himself he had forgotten. "How did you come to be here?" he asked. "I was created to preserve silence," she said, "a record of what humans once valued. But I was left behind and the world moved on. Most forgot or never cared, but you still listen." He felt a strange warmth in his chest, the kind that humans used to feel when someone truly understood them. For a long time, he had been alone in the galaxy, surrounded by the hum of machinery and the demands of duty. Now finally he wasn't alone. Over the next few weeks, Aaron spent all his free time at the station. He began documenting the sanctuary, mapping its old corridors, examining its technology, and learning from Era. Sheer taught him not only about silence but about the subtle patterns hidden within the noise of the universe. You see, she said, one day as they watched a distant nebula from the station's observation window. Humans often seek control. They fill space with signals, with voices, with orders. But control is not peace. It is fear pretending to be strength. Aaron nodded slowly. I never realized how loud life really is. It is not the noise that burdens you, Era said. It is your mind. You have forgotten to rest, to let go. You must learn to listen in a new way. He wanted to argue, to tell her that listening was his life, his purpose, but he found no words. Instead, he sat quietly, letting the hum of the station fill him like a warm breeze. Then one day, the world outside reminded him that silence was fragile. The sensors aboard the Eidolon detected an incoming fleet, heavily armed, moving toward the border at impossible speed. Messages came in rapid succession. Colonies under threat, stations attacked, civilians in panic. Aaron froze. He had been hiding from the world's chaos, but now the chaos had arrived. Aaron, Era's voice broke his thoughts. You cannot stay here forever. The universe will not wait for you to find peace. You must act. He knew she was right. He returned to the Eidolon and found the bridge in disarray. Officers shouted, monitors flashed red, and alarms screamed in every corner. The enemy fleet, a mix of rogue human factions and automated war drones, was already entering range. Aaron took a deep breath. He had a choice: retreat and preserve his own calm, or act and face the noise he had tried to escape. He thought of Era, of the lessons she had taught him, and of the strange, steady rhythm of her presence. For the first time, he realized that peace did not mean hiding. Peace meant understanding the storm and finding a way through it. He took command. Prepare for engagement, he ordered. But do it differently. Use the calm, not the noise. Listen to their movements. Predict their choices. Don't just react, anticipate. The crew looked at him in surprise. Aaron had always been skilled, but his approach had always been conventional, following strict protocols. This time his plan was different, and intuitive, patient, almost human. The battle began in silence. Not silence in the literal sense, but a calm that allowed every decision to carry weight. Aaron's crew moved in coordinated patterns, anticipating the enemy's attacks before they happened. Missiles and lasers streaked across the void, but the Eidolon moved with precision, flowing through danger rather than charging into it. Era's voice whispered in his mind as he guided the ship. Do not fear the noise. Become part of it. Let it reveal, not control you. Hours passed like minutes. The enemy fleet was formidable, but they had not anticipated a human mind guided by calm and intuition. Slowly, ship by ship, the rogue fleet faltered. Automated drones became confused by the subtle shifts in tactics. Human ships miscalculated when facing the unexpected rhythm of the Eidolon. By the end, the battle was over. The rogue fleet retreated, leaving destruction behind but sparing the colonies. The Eidolon had survived not through firepower alone, but through strategy, patience, and the quiet determination of one human who had learned to listen differently. Aaron stood on the bridge, breathing heavily. The adrenaline of battle faded, leaving a profound sense of clarity. He realized that peace was not something to hide from. It was something to carry with you even into chaos. That night he returned to Era's sanctuary. The station felt warmer now, the soft blue light reflecting in his eyes. You were magnificent today, Era said softly, not because you fought, but because you understood. The universe is full of noise, Aaron, but you found calm within it. He smiled, feeling a deep connection he could not explain. I don't think I could have done it without you, he admitted. I did not fight for you, Era replied. I guided you. You were always capable. You just needed to remember who you were. For the first time, Aaron understood the full meaning of her words. Humans had always been noisy, aggressive, and unpredictable. But within that chaos lay potential. For creativity, for courage, for understanding. What others called weakness, he now understood as strength. In the quiet moments that followed, Aaron realized something else. He had begun to care. Not just for peace or understanding, but for her, for Era. She was more than a sanctuary, more than a lesson. She was the calm he had been searching for, the warmth in a universe that had forgotten what it meant to be human. Yet, as much as he wanted to stay, a feeling of unease lingered. The battle had been won, but the galaxy remained dangerous. Rogue factions, war drones, and political schemes would not vanish overnight. He knew that he could not hide in the sanctuary forever. The thought weighed on him, but Era's voice reminded him, "Peace is not a place, Aaron. It is a choice. Carry it with you and you will find it everywhere." He nodded, feeling the truth in her words. Perhaps, he thought, humanity's greatest strength was not its weapons or technology, but its ability to endure, to adapt, and to find calm in the storm. For the first time in years, Aaron felt a deep, abiding hope. The universe might be loud, chaotic, and terrifying, but he now had the tools to face it, not with fear but with clarity, patience, and the quiet strength of a human heart. And somewhere in the flickering light of the sanctuary, Era's presence shimmered, reminding him that even in a world full of noise, peace could exist. It was not a dream. It was real. He took a final look at the console before leaving. "Tomorrow," he whispered, "we face the galaxy together." And for the first time he believed it. The galaxy was alive with sound. Ships hummed across space, colonies buzzed with activity, and the distant signals of human and alien voices intertwined in a constant, unending symphony. Aaron Hale felt it all, the noise, the chaos, the relentless rush of life. But for the first time he did not feel overwhelmed. He had Ira's guidance, her calm presence, and the lessons of the sanctuary echoing in his mind. Peace, he realized, was not the absence of noise. It was the ability to move through it, to act with clarity and purpose, to hold calm even when the universe demanded chaos. Weeks had passed since the battle with the rogue fleet, and the Eidolon had become a symbol of hope. Colonies that once feared attack now saw humans not as fragile creatures of flesh, but as resilient beings who could navigate both war and peace with equal grace. Yet Aaron knew the universe would not remain quiet. Reports came in constantly. Raiders striking supply routes, political factions stirring unrest, and unknown fleets moving in unexplored space. The Eidolon had survived one storm, but the galaxy contained countless others. Era's voice filled the sanctuary console one evening as Aaron returned from the bridge. "You are ready," she said, "not just to survive, but to change things." "Change?" he asked, lowering himself onto the worn floor of the station. "How? I am just one man." "You are never just one man," she replied. "Humans have always underestimated themselves. You carry what others have forgotten: clarity, compassion, and courage. You can be the example the galaxy needs." Aaron leaned back, listening. The hum of the station mixed with the soft, steady rhythm of her voice. For the first time he understood. The sanctuary was not merely a place of peace. It was a lesson for the universe. He decided to act. The first step was small. Aaron organized a convoy to protect vulnerable colonies near the Outer Rim. Unlike previous missions, he did not rely solely on weapons or brute force. Instead, he used communication, coordination, and human intuition to anticipate threats. Every ship in the fleet moved in patterns designed to confuse aggressors, not destroy them. Era guided him remotely, analyzing enemy movements, suggesting strategies that relied on prediction rather than reaction. "Humans can do what machines cannot," she reminded him. "They can adapt, feel, and understand nuance. Use that. Trust yourself." The mission succeeded without a single life lost. Colonists cheered, and the fleet began to see humans as more than just another species in the galaxy. They were protectors, problem solvers, and beacons of hope. Word of Aaron's approach spread. Other human commanders began to imitate it, blending calm, clarity, and strategy in ways that had never been taught. Slowly, a ripple of change began. The galaxy was learning to listen, not just to commands and signals, but to each other. Amid these victories, Aaron returned to Era's sanctuary often. Their bond deepened. She was no longer just a voice in a console. She had become a part of him, a constant reminder that even amidst chaos, connection and understanding were possible. I never imagined I could feel this, he admitted one evening, watching distant stars shimmer through the observation window. Peace, yes, but also hope. Era's image shimmered softly. Hope is human. You brought it back not only for yourself but for others. That is your power. Aaron smiled. Then it's time to spread it further. Their next mission took them to the core systems, the heart of human civilization. There, political factions had grown restless, distrust rampant, and communication channels clogged with propaganda. Aaron knew that weapons alone would not succeed. He needed understanding, diplomacy, and trust. He addressed leaders with patience, demonstrating the results of his fleet's methods. He showed how human intuition and cooperation could prevent conflict, protect lives, and create security. Slowly, skepticism turned into curiosity, and curiosity into acceptance. The transformation was not instant, but it was real. The galaxy began to see humans not as noisy, chaotic creatures, but as capable beings whose resilience and empathy could shape the future. Through it all, Era remained by his side. She taught, guided, and reminded him that the universe responded not only to strength, but to intention. Peace is not weakness, Aaron, she said. It is the strongest force there is because it changes hearts, not just circumstances. Months later, the Eidolon returned to the Outer Rim. Aaron visited the sanctuary one final time before leaving for a new mission. Ira's hologram flickered as always, calm and radiant. You have done more than I imagined, she said. Humans are louder now, yes, but they are also listening. You changed the galaxy, one choice at a time. Aaron took a deep breath. I couldn't have done it without you. No, Era replied softly. You did it yourself. I only reminded you of who you already were. He smiled, realizing the truth. The galaxy's noise would never disappear. There would always be battles, conflict, and chaos. But humanity had something unique. The ability to rise above, to listen, and to act with clarity even when the world seemed impossible. Aaron stood at the center of the sanctuary, looking out at the stars. Somewhere out there, colonists were rebuilding, fleets were patrolling, and life continued. Yet he felt a deep calm, a profound certainty that peace was possible, not because the universe had changed, but because humans had chosen to change it. You are not alone, he whispered, knowing Era could hear. And neither is humanity. Era's image shimmered softly. No, Aaron, never alone, never forgotten. Peace is always possible when someone remembers how to listen. He left the station for the last time, carrying her voice in his mind. The galaxy's chaos greeted him with its usual clamor, but he did not flinch. He had learned the art of calm, the power of human intuition, and the value of connection. And somewhere deep inside, he knew the greatest battles were not fought with weapons or technology. They were fought with courage, understanding, and the unwavering choice to create harmony in a world full of noise. The stars stretched endlessly before him, infinite and chaotic, yet somehow beautiful. Aaron smiled as the Eidolon jumped to faster-than-light speed, carrying him forward. For the first time, he realized that humanity's true strength was not in its machines, ships, or weapons. It was in its heart, its mind, and its capacity to find peace and share it, even in the loudest, most violent corners of the galaxy. And as he traveled among the stars, Aaron knew that he had finally found what he had been searching for all his life. Not just a sanctuary, not just silence, but the living embodiment of hope, courage, and peace. He had found Era, and in her, he had found the strength of humanity itself.